Hey, what's up YouTube? Welcome to another Warzone video with your boy CyburZero. In today's vid, we're going to be doing some commentary on some gameplay that I have for you here today. And this is going to provide some insight into how we play, why we do it, what runs through our mind when we're doing this kind of stuff, and hopefully can provide some tactical options for you in the Warzone. We know we're not the best pro players or anything, but from the average gamer perspective, if you have more options, you always improve at the game. So, hope you guys enjoy the vid here because we're going to just jump right into it. Let's go. Alrighty, so right here we're going to kind of just jump into one of our gunfights here and kind of explain why we did the things and why I feel that it's best to kind of incorporate some of these to get a little bit better at the game. Being aggressive, things like that, hitting certain jump spots, they give you a more tactical advantage in certain gunfights, things like that. So I'm going to kind of let it play out, stop here and there, and kind of just go through my basic, thought process on the matter and why I feel like these things really just give you more options in the war zone. I hope to give that to you as well. So we're gonna just play it out here. One's behind the shack.
Yeah, that one's in the roof, on the ceiling, second floor.
So right here we have advanced. There actually ended up being my bounty as well. So didn't know that at the time. They ended up being my bounty as well. So it actually worked in our favor to help get rid of them. As this guy more than likely tried to push. Maybe he thought we were a little bit farther back on the mountain. He ended up in no man's land. Unfortunately, his teammate never actually helps him out. So I was curious as to why. But his teammate kind of just stays in the building. We know based off the advance, he's already facing the other direction. He's going to take off here, but. Here we play. Be advised, UAV is being overshot. You'll see that I gave that little, real quick flick back to the window just to make sure that there was nobody there and we could try to, down this guy very quickly. Like I said, his buddy never actually engages with us in this whole time here. So, unfortunately for his buddy, we downed him really quickly.
Broken. I'm not broken, plated.
He's down. He's down if you can shoot him.
I can't see.
Shit. So we down him. Unfortunately, we're unable to finish him based on where we're at. So, of course, I'm trying to take advantage of the mismatch. The guy is down. Even if he gets him up in time, he's going to have to play it really quickly. It gets them disoriented. So, trying to cover as much ground as possible, I opt to parachute in and kind of close the distance.
Did you move?
Yeah. Now there, the audio cue. Glass breaking. We know that he revived him based on the info from the UAV. He was right on top of him, so did hit the revive for him. And there, well, more than likely. I guess he could also have been just there trying to cover for him, but I don't know why you just wouldn't do that from the building. But heard the glass break. We know they're both going back into the building. Hit the jump spot on the truck. Most people, for whatever reason, I know that's a very well-known spot there just to get on top of this building from the side, get you a different angle. Regardless, they never at any point looked out this window while I was going up there, which would have been bad because you could easily get somebody as they're vaulting. But I tried to take advantage of that. I more than likely figured that they did not know about that, so I went ahead and did it. Boom, down. Never saw it coming. Guy went prone. More than likely just facing the stairs just to see if anybody comes up. He, I guess, never heard the footsteps either. Wasn't aware. I downed him very quickly and I disengage. The reason I disengage for that reason is because I was thinking if I down somebody like that and for whatever reason they may basically ping me, they know my location, I like to down, disengage, kind of get out of the fire there. Of course, you can always just turn to try and aim at the stairs to maybe see if that guy comes up. And in most cases, I do. I just, in this situation, thought it was best to disengage, get off the stop there, because I know my buddy Daddy Doom is on the outside anyways. I took the low risk there, downed him. They're a little bit disoriented, disengage. And then re-engage here in a sec.
Throwing frag.
Plates, I hit plates.
There. I messed up there. I would have had an extra second. I don't know if I would have saved him. He pushes from the stairs. Of course, I'm going to hit the same location. He more than likely got an audio cue notifying him that Daddy Doom was coming up the stairs. He's holding it. Gets him. While I'm coming back up to this location to try and get him off balance.
He's broken. Nice.
Alrighty. Not even a second went by. I was able to re-engage with that guy. Get him very quickly. His full attention was on him. As soon as he downed him, it looked like he was going to thirst him. So, yeah. Very easy gunfight in that situation. I believe it really helps to be the aggressor in these kinds of instances. Most of the time, people just don't. They usually wait for things to happen to them. And it's okay in scenarios. Certain instances, I should say. But don't play like that all the time. You'll never get really good at the game unless you start to be more aggressive with your actions. And even in this, we're not super aggressive. We could have been totally different about our approach, but we do like to employ semi-aggressive tactics in this. Once we had the mismatch, push, get the jump spot, different angle, get the guys, and say no more. They're already gone. And that's how we approached this instance. I'm going to fast forward here to another one. Alrighty. Here's the situation. This one is a little similar. The jump spot is different from this one. I elected to not go with that jump spot. There is a certain jump spot if you get on the wall here, right here, jump onto the side of the house, and you can jump here. You actually see the guy. Actually, right here, already through the window. We had UAV. We both knew they were both on top of each other. What I elected to do was get a little bit closer, pop Daddy, and I knew my buddy was sniping over here in this direction. He at least was looking through the window. If that guy did decide to shoot me, my first instinct would have been to get to cover right here, try and avoid the bullets while my buddy covers me, and more than likely gets the shot off.
B is bingo fuel. RTB for resupply.
One for sure is upstairs.
Yeah.
What? That should have been it. I should have hit him. I didn't. You're so close.
There was just in case if we had as I was coming up, it's possible the guy could have seen me. Even though I popped Eddie, he could have easily have seen me and just hopped out, tried to get the little bit of an advantage there, a little bit higher, and tried to get me off guard. He did not. That is why I also decided to swing this way. I check in the windows also, just in case, because I want to push this building without making too much noise with windows. So that's why I decided to kind of come around this whole back way.
Scaring me.
Boom. Okay. The back windows were not broken, or they were broken, I'm sorry, and push from this location. Instantly swing to the stairs. I did miscalculate. I thought he was on the right side. Unfortunately, he was a little bit on the left.
He shot out.
But got the down. Never saw it coming. Had that split-second reaction. He was a little bit late on it. Shot him down. Disengage. Same thing. The guy, I believe, could have easily downed me. I was out of plates. He could have basically, if I had stayed there, challenged it. Had a high chance of missing. My buddy's still at a certain distance. He's probably about 6-7 seconds away from even trying to get me. That's plenty of time for the other guy to thirst me. So I decided to disengage and play it up over here. Still have Jetty still going. He gets my thirst. And now I'm listening for audio cues. That's what I'm doing right now in this location. Because he can actually jump out the back here. If he wanted to, he could jump out the back if he thought that I was in this right here. I'm out of Deddy. He should be able to hear my footsteps now. So he can easily jump out the back and try to get me if he relatively knows where I'm at. So I'm plating.
Dude's name was ASAP Rock Lee.
Can you see the other one? I'm asking if he sees the other one or no.
No.
I don't even wait for the confirmation. I know if from what angle he was at, he was never even looking at the guy. I'm gonna actually go back once again.
Dude's name was
Reload
ASAP
gun.
Rockley.
Can you see the one or no?
No.
Boom. Hit the jump spot. Not jump spot.
Dude's name was
Apologize.
ASAP Rockley.
Can you see the one or no?
No.
It's like perfect timing. He says no right when I engage with the guy. He's in the exact same location as his buddy, just holding the stairs. I could have actually hit the jump spot from the outside, and that would have been another tactic to try. Or Daddy Doom as well, hit the jump spot from the outside. Never would have saw it coming. We could have flanked them. It would have been a little bit easier. Given where I was and where Daddy Doom was, I figured the chances of me getting him there were pretty high as long as I hit my shots. And even if he does down me, I was kind of at an angle. He might not have had time to finish me. So I believe we were okay. I was very confident in taking the push to that guy there at the stairs, and I would win that pretty handily. Alright, be careful, big house. Alrighty, so I'm going to fast forward to pretty much almost at the end of the circle here and talk about this a little bit. Now, originally, my buddy Daddy Doom pinged this here. It's almost, pretty much in the center of the circle here. We're in the 5th circle. We got about 52 seconds. There is a jump spot, basically where I'm aiming the gun to hop on this fence line here, jump on the house, then jump onto this house, so that you can kind of survey the entire area from here if you wanted to from the roof. The only thing with that is we have not cleared this section of the map at all as I'm going over it with my mouse, and we have not cleared this. Really, the only section that we have cleared is this backside here. And even then, if anybody kind of just decided just to rotate this way, they can. So it was, in my opinion, would stay on 8 frame, or IHOP as we like to call it, hold this location for the time being. And I was also thinking there was just people here in the houses. So I wanted to hold up. I didn't want to engage in a firefight in the middle and then get shot from the back here. If there was people rotating from these locations, more than likely it's 1, maybe 2 teams. It's a lot easier to fight these guys than it is to get in the middle, engage, and then get third party from the other people coming in. So decided to stay here. We do end up holding teams from this side and this side as well. The only ones that pinged were those guys and big.
Enemy.
Oh, I see him.
No. Oh, this is so difficult. No, he went up.
They're like in the hill. Okay, I'm back up here. As I said, there was a guy that revived here. They rotated this way. They actually are ending up engaging with the team that is right here. Right now, there's currently 6 teams. Currently, these guys are more than likely fighting 1, possibly 2 teams here. I'm kind of just holding this spot by myself. We are split. So just kind of seeing where these guys are at. I'm going to play it out a little bit. I'm not going to push them. They're fighting 2 teams.
Let me see where you're shooting at.
They're like in front of the hill.
Come here, Jace.
Ignore last.
My buddy calling
he's
for his
upset.
baby boy.
Oh, I saw the shots.
Now, I elected to hold this position. I knew the other team was weak, but technically only 1 team died from this indicator here on the top right. So it's quite possible the 2 people that there's 2 people on the other side of that hill. I didn't want to end up in a disadvantage coming up on the hillside here, and just being 2-on-1 is very easy. I can probably pull it off, but it's something that I don't necessarily have to risk at this point. We're just playing for the win. We normally in the beginning play for kills, but if the situation allows for us to play for the win at the very end, we will do so, and that's what we had elected to do.
Oh, the guy just rezzed and Colby in front of us.
Shit.
Damn, dude. That
And
was a power play.
I'm holding this right side still.
I'm going jump spot now.
Gas is closing in. Relocating the safe zone. Enemy dropping into the AO.
My terrible shots there. You can ignore that. That was basically the guy that got revived here at the buy station. Now, these people never moved from this spot. So I'm still trying just to be wary. I was hoping to get them as they moved. I'll play it here. Where are these guys on the right? Oh, shit. Found him. See the guy snipe. Still in the kind of same spot. Covering my right, just in case first.
Coordinates marked.
He moved. He's underneath your house.
Waypoint marked.
Ping his general location. And that is why I checked right first, just in case somebody may just kind of swing. Of course, it could still happen if he's very patient. He could still swing late. But I imagine most people tend to stay with their partner if there was one there.
Okay.
Check one more time. Now hit the jump spot. Now, I know my buddy here on the right has this pretty much covered. I also just recently looked here. It is possible somebody decided to late rotate from this. It's unlikely. But if so, my buddy should be able to hopefully get the angle on him, finish him. And I'm just concerned on the left right now.
People.
My house. Now, I get the audio cue that somebody was running around. He hit the door right there. I hit this little drop right here so I can get through the window. Get a different angle. Alright, so because of the jump spot, he's still checking. Honestly, in these final circles, a lot of people do tend just to hide upstairs, hold the stairs. So he could have played a little bit more aggressively. He knew the general location where I was at. It just didn't work out for him. And I got the jump on him there. I knew where he was. I had Deddy, so he shouldn't have been able to hear any kind of indication of where I was running. Unless he did earlier, and he was just a little bit slow on the move there. But got him down. My buddy also got the other guy down as quickly, so there's only one other team left.
Enemies remain. You know what to do.
I decided to plate. Reload. Always good things to do, especially you never know what might happen. Yep.
Gas is closing. Get to the new safe zone.
So right here, see him right here. Unfortunately, I did not.
Be able to see him move.
Yeah, my house.
Up top?
Gas is
Yep.
closing in.
Oh, he just jumped out. Yeah.
Enemy precision air.
Now, fortunately, like I said, I was a little slow on the uptake. It took me a second to figure out that he was there. You do see the barrel of his gun a little bit before even that initial confrontation happened. A little slow. Try to switch to the Farah. But disengage. He had the advantage. It wasn't any. It was going to do me no good to try and push that fight. And he also precisioned. More than likely, I was thinking it was in this general location. If it was me, it might have been hard for him to try and get like right here. I would have tried to pre-shoot it, that to block off our path, come behind us. They elected to do a different option here.
Right, take cover.
Where's that coming from? I don't know where that's coming from.
You're good, you're good. I should have looked left. Right here, should have looked left. If his buddy, for whatever reason, decided just to hold that angle, he could have easily downed me as I was running across to try and get into this building. Should have looked left. That's just something when you're looking down different lanes, just to make sure, look both ways before crossing, folks. I knew more than likely nobody was here. We do know that there's only two teams, us and them. But it doesn't help. It does help to look at different spots just in case. It would have just taken me less than a millisecond. He's in this. One of them is. Two of them is. Right there also. Because I kind of missed it there. I was unable to just get them as they were running. It could have been an easy kill, but because I took too long paying attention to one guy, try not to get tunnel vision. I know it's really difficult, but it really helps to not get tunnel vision. That's why with disengaging, things like that, with thirsting, that's part of it. But in that right there, if I didn't have the tunnel vision of that guy kind of just following him and just kind of left it open, I could have easily got his buddy, and the game would have been over that much quicker. I missed a jump there.
I'm hit.
That right there is a very weak chow by me. Messed it up completely. I meant to just kind of jump slide there. Missed it up. So decided to just disengage. I put a couple shots into him. As soon as he drop shot, I knew I wasn't going to win that if I toughed it out. So also, too, more than likely his buddy was still in the building, considering my buddy Daddy Doom's up here covering this side. So I thought it was best just to disengage, go back into the building, plate up.
I'm hit.
You guys broken?
Gas is closing. Get to the new safe zone.
Now this here, comms Daddy's broken. Down him very quickly. I'm going to go ahead and thirst. Get the thirst.
Safe zones.
Now I get the thirst mostly because it's easier in that scenario that if it plays out that maybe he has a self or something like that, I don't want any shots in the back. It's only gonna even if we thirst him and maybe his guy comes after me, it'll just be one-on-one just in case. You never know. He's right there. I felt it was better just to get rid of him in that instance. Now, basically the options here are interesting because that means his buddy never left the building. In which case, he has a gas mask. So, I decide to basically stay apart from my buddy Daddy Doom. He's covering this right, and I kind of try to play the left as much as possible.
Far. Let's motor.
Where the other guy went? Right, maybe?
Maybe. Right there. You see a glimpse of him. I'm going to play it again.
It's far. Let's motor.
Where the other guy went? Right, maybe?
Maybe. I'm checking left just in case. You never know. He could have a durable gas mask. It would definitely give him enough time to make the transition over to this side. And if I'm not paying attention, he can easily take me out if I'm not paying attention. So I'm just checking this side just in case. Do a spin around. You actually see him on the screen right here. They pull out my heartbeat. They're ghosted, but I just pull it out just for happen chance. I knew more than likely he's probably not in the building. If he is, and he gets the shots off, it's going to be very difficult. So just pull out the heartbeat. And basically, we see him here.
Standing chance. Good work.
And it's over.
Good.
We held our location to the best of our ability there. We never tried to force the issue too much on the final circle. We could, if for whatever reason we decided to go to that jump spot earlier, we could have easily gotten shot by the team that was on the hill on the backside. I'm going to actually go back to it right now. We'll try our best to. The team that was basically here originally, if we had gotten up here earlier, we could have got shot by them. There was those two teams. We had the team here as well as the team that was also here that revived. So in that, I figured it was best to just play it slow. And really just try not to get in the middle. I think it's best if you don't put yourself directly in the middle. Like I said, it's best to be aggressive, but try not to be. There's a middle ground to everything. And if you're playing late circle, most people tend to play conservative, and it would be best to not put yourself in the middle. You know everybody's just going to be gunning for you. If they see any kind of blood in the water, they're going to be like sharks. So that's my take on the matter for kind of this different kind of situations in these gunfights, as well as late circle rotations, things like that, in this specific instance. So hope you guys enjoyed that little dive into my brain there. Hopefully it gave you some different ideas different tactics maybe to employ in the war zone, as well as opportunities that you may see in these situations yourself. Um, Alrighty guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video here today. If you enjoyed the content and want to see more of it, let me know down in the comment section down below. And let's crush that YouTube algorithm by hitting the like, subscribe, as well as the bell for notifications. That way you can also make your way back to me for more Warzone videos. And as always, hope you guys have a great one. Enjoy gaming. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.